everyone, and welcome to Lauren Reed Color. Thanks for joining me for another Saturday Snippets. It's been quite a busy week with the rapid approach of the end of the academic year, but I did manage to color a few pages, and I actually also finished one, which I will show you in a little while. But first, let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be working in Romantic Country by Eriy, and the page that we're doing is, one second, this sleepy time page. So far we've done the background. That was originally a bit of a mess, but we fixed it up last week and we started coloring in the flowers on the edge of the frame, and I think we're going to continue doing that today. So for that we're going to be using several Prismacolor pencils. We're going to be using, this is Pale Sage. What's that? That's second, dark umber, white, sap green light. This is burnt ochre, Prussian green, deco pink. This one is lemon yellow. I might change that out for canary yellow. I'll have a look. Pink and pomegranate. Okay, we'll also be using a white gel pen or a white acrylic pen, and maybe some yellow acrylic pen as well. So that's what we're going to be doing today, but first we're going to talk about what I did this week. Just a reminder to anyone who's new, these videos are chatty videos. I talk about what's going on in my life, what I see on the internet, and anything interesting that catches my fancy. So if you prefer not to listen to me ramble on, feel free to mute me. Okay, so let's start with what I did this week. As I said, I completed one page this week, and it's in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. And the page that I did is, this double page spread that I am calling Down the Rabbit Hole. Let me just take off the protective sheet. So this was a buddy color with Christine from Sync Colors. Christine is almost finished her page, and I can't wait to see the end result because so far it looks really amazing. I will share it with you at the end of the month when I do my completed pages video. In the meantime, what did I do on my page? I threw a lot of mediums at this. In terms of the background, I used Neocolor 2s, then I used Spectrum Noir Color Blend pencils, which have sort of like a waxy finish to them. And then on top of that, I put oil pastels to darken up some of the colors. And I'm really pleased with the result. I think that the combination of those three mediums together really created a lovely effect. So I did that on the background of the sky and the background of the maze, and then I took a finger and I just smudged the oil pastel into the maze itself, and then outlined with a white gel pen to get that sort of metallic effect. And after that, I colored all of the elements using Prismacolor pencils. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the end result. This was a fun page. I enjoyed my experimentation with it, and I like it. Yeah, so that is my page in Enchanted Forest. Let me just put that there. I'll sort it out later. Okay, so that's that page. Next is a page that I am on the cusp of finishing. All I've got left is the background, and it's in Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. This is a buddy color with Tiku from Tiku's Coloring. Tiku has finished her page. It is fabulous, and again I will show it on my completed pages video, but the page that we did together is this Forest Pond page. I'm really happy with it so far. I hope that the background that I've got planned for behind the tree will make the flowers pop and that it won't ruin it. Sometimes, you know, you get to the point of the background and you're like, oh, I really like this page, and then you do the background and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But I'm really hoping that the background that I choose to do will make it pop. It's going to be something similar to the gradients that I've got around the edges. Yeah, one thing I do like about this page is my little yellow bird, well, maybe gold. I decided that I wanted to do the birds in this book, this gold color. There are quite a few of these. Now, there are a couple that I've done. So, for example, I did these birds. And I did, wait, let me show the first one. I also did this one. This one's gold with the blue. That was before I decided to make them all gold. And then I have one more, which is not gold. But yeah, I think from now on, I will do them gold. But I think that would be a nice theme to go through the book. But I digress. Okay, so that is my page in Twilight Garden by Maria Chole. I also started a couple of whips this week. The first one is in Mythographic Wild Summer. Now, I am coloring this page for the Wild Year of Color 2026 hashtag hosted by Jamie at Finding Joy in Color, and also for my own hashtag, the Mythographic Collective, June 26, because the book of the month was Wild Summer. I decided not to color the page that the group chose, which was the panda, simply because I wasn't feeling it. Also, this was sort of a spur of the moment decision, because I had originally planned to color a page from Meine Reis durch Afrika that also had a hippo. This was my original page, but yeah, I also wasn't feeling it. So I decided to find the hippo page in Wild Summer, and yes, this is the page that I'm working on. So far I have based everything with alcohol marker, and I have started to shade the hippos with pencils and the background with pencils. So it's alcohol marker, and it's a mixture of Prismacolor pencils and Castle Arts pencils for the shading. So yeah, I like this color scheme, and I'm enjoying coloring it. It was, as I said, a spur of the moment decision, but I'm enjoying it. So that is my whip in Mythographic Wild Summer by Joseph Katzenbang. Another whip that I started this week is in Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes, and it's an example of a page where I am doing two birds with one stone. So I'm in the Mythomorphia challenge group on Instagram, and the page that we decided to do for I think it's 2 months, yes? So it's going to be June and July is this basilisk page. So as you can see, I've started the background. I want it to be a glowing sunset background. So far I've just put down Neocolor 2s, but now what I'm going to do is darken up the shadows of the Neocolor 2s using watercolor paint. So I've already chosen the colors. I just have to get going, and then I'm going to base the rest of the page, I think, with watercolor as well, and then shade with pencil, probably polychromos. I'm also doing this as a buddy with Amanda from Color Me Tartan, and yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that is my page in Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. Next is a page in my ongoing whip book, which is Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. And the page that I'm doing is this Rustic Keys page. I'm using Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils for this, and they have sort of a chalky feel to them, and I'm concerned about smudging. So I've decided that to work across and then down. So I've done these keys this week, and now I'm going to continue by going sort of at an angle to avoid smudging. I hope I will be successful. So this book is a book that I am doing whenever it strikes my fancy, and I've also been thinking of participating in the page hopping trend, where you pick a couple of palettes and then apply them a little bit at a time to lots of different pages in the book. The only thing is, if I do that, I am going to end up with lots of whips, but yeah, that's not the end of the world. Another thing that I'm considering doing, not necessarily in this book, is the Color for 30 Minutes for 30 Days challenge developed by Kira at A Pictured Purpose. But of course, that challenge was for the month of June, and we're already more than halfway through the month, so it won't be for June. Instead, I'm thinking of doing my own personal challenge of color for 31 minutes for 31 days in 31 books. So I'm thinking of doing a hashtag, and anyone who wants to join me for that is more than welcome. Yeah, so that will be in July. Yeah, and I have one more book to show you. The final whip that I began this week is in So Many Cozy Animals by Kimma Parrish. Get Creative 6, the publishers of this book, kindly sent it to me, and I showcased it on the channel this week. There is a video where I do a flip through, and I also tested the paper using the 3 brands of pencils that I use the most. So it's Prismas, Polys, and Castle Arts. And I also tested out some water mediums. So I did Inktense, Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s, and watercolor pencils, and the end result, yes, is this page, which I am going to continue coloring for Polly Puts the Color On. She has a hashtag where we have to color a teacup of some kind, and it's in honor of her birthday. So happy birthday, Polly. And yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. So we've got the different results of the different pencil brands. Here we've got Prismacolors, Castle Arts, Polychromos. Here we've got Neocolor 2, and as you can see, I put Castle Arts on top because I thought that the Castle Arts by itself was not doing a good job, and perhaps a water medium base would help, but interestingly, it changed the color of the pencil. So that's never happened to me before. And over here, I have Inktense and watercolor pencils. So I'm going to be coloring the rest of the page in shades of blues, golds, greens, and reds. I'm looking forward to continuing this page as well. Yeah, and that is the page that I started in So Many Cozy Animals by Gemma Parrish. Right, so now that I've discussed all the things that I did this week, let me begin or continue with our sleepy time page in Romantic Country. As I said, we're going to be working on the flowers in the background of this page. So far, we've started on these flowers, and right now they're looking quite a bit pink, even though my original plan was for them to be white. I'm hoping that once we put the gel pen around the petals, it'll look a lot more white. But even if it comes out pink, that's not the end of the world. It still suits our page. For this, I used Deco Pink, Pomegranate, Pink, and white, but for now we're going to do these leaves, and for the leaves I'm going to be using green colors. So we've got Pale Sage, Sap Green Light, and Prussian Green, and we're going to do these leaves. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit and we will get going. Okay, I'm starting with Prussian Green, and I'm just going to put this color down on the page. Right, so now that we've gotten started, we can start the chatty portion of the video. Again, feel free to mute me if you're not interested in my chattiness. It's good to have a sharp pencil for this because I'm just outlining some of these lines. Right. Anyway, so yes, welcome everybody. I hope that you had a good week. My week was rather busy. As I said earlier, it's the end of the academic year. It's rapidly approaching, which means that it's a lot of testing and marking. And even after the academic year ends, I will be doing a lot of reading of exams and marking. And yeah, it's going to be a busy period. Yes, July is always quite a busy time. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Pale Sage and I'm just going to blend this out. Yeah, so I am preparing myself for a little bit less coloring and a little bit more working, but that's okay. Yeah, and it was quite busy. My students gave their presentations. They've been working on them for about 3 weeks, and now they actually had to present them. Okay, I'm going to darken up again with Prussian Green. And I was really impressed. They put in a lot of effort. They worked hard. Most of them, I would say about 95%, did an amazing job. I had given them very strict guidelines, very strict instructions about the use of AI. I told them any presentation that is made solely with AI will not receive a good grade. So at least they built the presentations by themselves. I said that they could use AI, for example, to make graphs. If they couldn't find, graphs for the data that they wanted to present, I said, okay, you can use, AI for that, but images and things like that need to be real. You cannot use these generic sepia-colored, boring, unrealistic images. And they took that to heart. So I was proud of them. And yeah, so there were some really interesting topics. These are engineering students. Okay, they're going to be engineers. For some of them, I'm a bit concerned about the future. But yeah, they're going to be engineers. And one group are biotechnology students. Others are electrical engineering students. Those are the two groups that I teach. My colleagues teach other kinds of engineers. So we have, at my college, we have mechanical engineers, we have civil engineering, industrial management, software engineering, all sorts of other types of engineers. But my students are biotechnology engineers and electronics. And this particular task was, presentation skills. So I taught them how to make a presentation. I taught them how to give a presentation. And after all that, they had to, apply what they'd learned back in with the pale sage. So one of my biotechnology students did her presentation on fermentation. So she decided that she was going to do an experiment in the class. So she brought a water bottle and a cup of warm water and yeast, like a packet of yeast, and a balloon. And she explained that by mixing the water has to be warm, by mixing the warm water with the yeast in a container and shaking it, you're going to get an aerobic environment. And this will cause fermentation because it'll interact with the sugar and the yeast. And then she put the balloon on top of the bottle, and she said, we'll wait a little while and we'll see that the balloon will start to inflate. And it did. It was amazing. She did a fabulous job. So she did the experiment. She explained the science behind it and all of that. It was a really nice presentation. I'm very proud of her. Hold on. Another student in that class did their presentation. Do I want to do them all the same? I think so. Wait, let's just move this a bit closer. Another student in that class talked about, they're very into this course, into genetic engineering and things like that. So another student did her presentation on a technique in genetic engineering that's called CRISPR. And basically, in this technique, you can take a damaged gene and cut it out, and it's all done during using enzymes. So basically, you can remove the damaged gene and replace it with an undamaged gene, and in this way, you can, treat illnesses. So one of the illnesses that is being treated using this technique is sickle cell anemia. So the presentation was all about sickle cell anemia and the traditional treatments and the new treatments, and it was very interesting. So that was a good presentation as well. I'm trying to think, what else did they do? Oh, and then another student in that group did a presentation on bioplastic, plastic made from biological material. Also very interesting. So that group did a really good job. That's one of my smaller groups. That group there are 22 students in that class. So, I have to listen to 22 presentations, mark 22 presentations. I'm slowly working my way through that. Okay, let me just turn the page. My other class, as I said, I have two other classes. There are two groups of electrical engineering students. One group has 24 students, and the other group has 31 students. Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted with all the listening and the marking and it's hard. I have a rubric that I mark according to, but I try to be as objective as possible with speaking tasks because, I want to be able to, if they come and they want to know why I graded in a certain way. Then I want to be able to explain to them. So I have a rubric, and I have to match my notes to the rubric to mark as fairly as possible. Yeah, so it's time consuming and draining, but they did a great job, as I said. So one of the students in the electrical engineering department, he decided to do his presentation on using drones to herd cattle. It was fascinating. So he started off talking about, have I got a page underneath? No, I haven't. Let me just get a protective sheet for underneath the page. One moment. Yeah, so I felt like the page was a little bit too soft, the give of the paper, and that's when I realized I didn't have my protective sheet. The protective sheet is a bit hard. It's like this kind of thick cardstock, which gives a little bit more support to the paper. Yeah. Anyway, back in with the Prussian green. Yeah, so this student he did his presentation on using drones to herd sheep and cattle. And he talked about, grazing. First of all, there's an app that it works with. So it is designed to determine which pasture is the best for grazing based on weather, soil conditions, water conditions, and all sorts of other factors, makeup of the herd and things like that. And then you take the herd to that particular pasture, and it allows the other pastures to rejuvenate. So it's like rotational grazing. And then the drone herds the cattle or the sheep. I suppose it's instead of a dog. Yeah. So I asked him after he'd finished presenting, what doesn't the drone scare the cows or the sheep? And he says that the drone is designed, also there's sensors on it, to sense stress in the animals. And if the drone senses that the cattle are stressed, it backs off. So it's really clever. So, he's going to be an electrical engineer. So I asked him how this was related to his field. And he said the electrical engineer is the person who designs the sensors for the drones, because it's also combined with software engineering, where they design the software for the app and the software to run the drone. So, yeah, it's really interesting. Okay, let's turn this a little bit more. No, we're still with the Prussian green. And what else? Then there was one of my other students. Wait, this is uncomfortable. Hold on one second. I'm just going to move the book so that it's not going to get bent by me bending over it. 1 second. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh yes, my students and their presentations. So another student. So here you can see how some of the paint from the background has gone onto the leaf, but it's not the end of the world. We will just color over it using the pencil. It won't make any difference. It might even give it some nice texture. Yeah, so another student, he is an avid table tennis player. So he did his presentation on the electronic devices that are used in table tennis. So for example, he talked about it's an electronic backboard, and it's used for practicing. So you can practice with another person, but you can also practice with the backboard, and then the back sensors in the backboard collect data about your performance so that you can review it and improve. So he did his presentation on that, and also really interesting, he talked about on the table tennis rackets. I think they're called paddles, yes, or are they called rackets? They're either called paddles or rackets. Anyway, so he was explaining that on these rackets or paddles, there's a coating. And you can actually change the coating on the paddle to get different results. And every player has their preferred coating. And the coating can also have sensors attached to it that connect to this backboard and collect the data. So that was really interesting. I asked him if in competitions, if everybody's given the same, coating on the paddles or the rackets, and he says no. Every player has their own preferred coating for their paddle, and in international competition, it's examined, given the green light, and then each individual player plays with their preferred coating on their paddle or racket. I'm not really sure what it's called. I have to look that up. Anyway, he said it, but I can't remember. So that was really interesting. I had quite a few presentations on sports. So the instructions for this task was that they had to think of a problem in real life. They had to discuss the existing solutions to this problem, and then they had to come up with either an original solution to the problem or take an existing solution and improve it. Okay, so some of them, like for example, this student, the one with the ping pong or the table tennis, the problem that he was addressing was when you don't have a partner to practice. So the paddle sensors are an existing solution, but he improved on it. He talked about the data sensors and the interference that they sometimes get, and he talked about improving the sensors on the paddles to reduce noise and interference, which I thought was really good. And then, so as I said, quite a few students decided to do their presentations on electronic devices in sports. It's really interesting to see the makeup of the student body. In biotechnology, the majority of the students are women. There are some men. Every class usually has like one or two men, but primarily biotechnology students are girls. And electronics students are primarily men with the occasional woman or girl. So we, like this group, out of my 50, I think I have 54 students. Out of 54 students, there are, I think, 7 girls. So yeah, it's a really male-dominated field. So a lot of them decided to do it on electronic devices in sports. Okay, let me have a look. Oh, I like that. We're now going to do the centers of these flowers. And for that, we're going to use, do I want to use lemon yellow or canary yellow? I think I'm going to get my canary yellow. Hold on one second. Okay, so I've got canary yellow. I think that this yellow is better. The lemon yellow is very bright. And I don't think it would work as well. Okay, so we're just going to put this down in the circle. I'm leaving a highlight, as you can see. Now I'm taking the burnt ochre and I'm deepening up my shadows. Yes, leaving the highlight. And then this is dark umber. Okay. Yes, we can blend that out with the burnt ochre and then a little bit more with the yellow and leave the highlight. Okay. Back in with the canary yellow. And we are going to just put this here. And we can also do that one. Yeah, just make sure to leave a highlight. Yeah, so I'm very proud of my students. I think they did fabulous jobs, and I have to brag a little bit because they worked really hard, and I'm proud of them. So yeah, they're going to get, most of them are going to get good grades. There are a few who, they didn't really apply what they learned. A couple, not that many. Most of them did a fabulous job. Okay, next is the dark umber to deepen up the shadows. Yeah. Right, so that was my work week. What else did I do this week? Oh, I've talked a lot about work. Okay. Do I want to take the gel pen or do I want to do the acrylic pen? Let's try the gel pen. Now the gel pen might not work because the wax of the Prismacolor sometimes gets into the nib of the pen, but you can always clean it off. So we will see if it works, but it does give a thinner line. Oh, yes. No, that's good. I like that. All right, I'm going to clean the nib off in between. Or if you feel that it's not flowing as nicely, you can clean off the nib. Also, don't press too hard. I found that if you press too hard, the flow sort of stutters. So, light pressure around our petals. Yeah, so what else did I do this week? I finished the book that I was reading, the Nora Roberts, called it's called Awakening. It's the first book in the Dragon Legacy series. And as I said last time, if you were here and listening, the beginning of the book was very slow. There was a lot of world building. And it was a bit slow, but once the action picked up, it was really good. And the last few chapters were amazing. And of course, it ended on a cliffhanger, but thankfully, I've got all 3 books. And I decided to continue reading the second book, and the second book is much better. I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of drama, political shenanigans, but also action. And I'm enjoying it a lot more. And I'm sure that once I'm finished, I'm actually almost finished it. When I like a book and I get into it, I can't really put it down. So I've been reading into the night, and yes, having to get up early in the morning is hard. So I'm actually almost finished the second book. And I will go straight into the third book because now I want to know what happens. Oh, okay. So as you can see, the flowers are more pink than white, but that's okay. If you want them to be more white, you can put more flicks into the petals with the gel pen and it will come out a bit more white. But I like them, so I think I'm going to leave them. Yeah, so that's what I'm reading. The second book in the, let me just, oops. Yeah, do that. It's called, the first one was called The Awakening, the second one is called The Becoming, and the third one is called The Choice. The reasons for these titles are explained in the book, so it makes sense. What else did I do? I'm starting another audiobook. I haven't actually started it yet because I've been reading this one, and I've been watching YouTube videos while I've been coloring. But I want to get into this book. It's called An Evil Heart, and it's by Linda Castillo. And it is book, I'm thinking 15 in the Kate Burkholder series. The Kate Burkholder series is about a police chief named Kate Burkholder who lives in Ohio in a town called Painter's Mill, which is, and there are a lot of Amish characters. It's about the Amish. It's really, really good. Very interesting. Okay, I think we are going to move on to another group of these flowers. We're going to do these ones. Okay, so we're going to do the pink petals. They may or may not come out the same. Nothing needs to be uniform. It's fine to have flowers that don't look exactly the same. Okay, so don't be stressed out if they come out a bit different. Where's my pomegranate? Oh, okay. So again, we're using Deco Pink, pink, and pomegranate. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Deco Pink. Last time, I don't think I used Deco Pink on all the flowers, but let's use them. Let's use it on all of these. Right. So, yes, that one. And here again, we've got quite a bit of the paint got onto the petals, but that's fine because our flowers are going to be pink anyway. Yeah, so I think after I do some of these flowers, I'm going to stop because we have to go grocery shopping. Our kitchen is looking, well, our fridge is looking like Mother Hubbard's cupboard. So we have to go and do some shopping and get some food for the weekend. Yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more uniform than last time. Yeah, so what else happened this week? Oh, so let me just say that I am not a soccer fan. It's the World Cup right now. I'm sure most of you know. I've been watching some live streams, and some of the people have been talking about the World Cup. But I really do not enjoy soccer. I do not get the appeal of 22 men running after a ball. I know, please don't come for me. There are many people who adore soccer, who think it's fabulous, but I think there are far more interesting sports. For example, I love rugby. I think rugby is amazing. So, and there I don't mind that they're running. Well, they're not really running after the ball, are they? They're more throwing it at each other. So, I prefer rugby. I think it's a much more interesting, compelling, and faster game. Anyway, so, but nevertheless, I am enjoying the things that are going on around the World Cup. So there's the Tartan Army. They are the fans from Scotland, and they have arrived in Boston and are just, their tomfoolery is just hysterical. So they are walking around putting cones onto statues, which I understand is quite common in Scotland to put cones on statues' heads, and it's the pictures are so cute and so funny. So there's one picture of their ducks. It's a statue of ducks, and they've put all these little, I think they're party hats, onto these ducks. It's just adorable. And there was also a parade where they were playing the bagpipes down the street, and I thought that was really cool. I'm not sure that this is the correct color. Never mind, it's good enough. I'm wondering if I didn't use processed red, not pomegranate. Never mind, let's use pomegranate. As I said, they don't have to be exact. Yeah, so, and as I was watching this with the bagpipes, I mean, you know, today it's all in good fun, but originally the bagpipes were to scare the enemy, and I can totally get how on the battlefield with the swords and the spears and the lances and the horses and the pipes, I can totally get why the Romans were terrified of the Scots and built a wall to keep them out. I totally get that. So that was good. And what else did I see? Sticking with the Scots for a second, someone on Threads was explaining why the national animal of Scotland is a unicorn. And it's because the unicorn in folklore, even though I think, I mean, I know it's folklore, But I actually think that unicorns must once have existed. You can't have so many tales about them without them having actually existed. I think they're just extinct. Anyway, I digress. So this person was explaining that the national animal of Scotland is the unicorn because according to lore, the unicorn is a majestic animal. It's an untamable animal. It's very hard to capture and imprison. And this is what the Scots are like. So they're untamable. So not that the Romans didn't try and gave up, and Edward I didn't give it a good go as well. Let's blend all of that together with the white. I think that might soften up this pomegranate color. Yeah. I don't think I used pomegranate the first time. I think I used processed red. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make these flowers a little bit different. Let me just show you what my plan is. Hold on, let me zoom out. So as you can see, here I used processed red, here I used pomegranate, and what I'm going to do is I'll use processed red here and pomegranate here so we get cohesion, but also different shades of pink. So that's my plan. Let me zoom in again. Yeah, because I can see that it's a different color, but that's okay. Yes, let's put a bit more pomegranate just here at the bottoms closest to the middle. Darken that up. Yeah, so that was the explanation for the unicorns. And yeah, and also I saw another group of, staying with the Scots. there were a lot of posts about the Scots. Staying with the Scots, it turns out that yes, they drink a lot and Boston pubs needed to restock their beer. They ran out of beer because the Scots drink so much. But the other group of supporters that I saw posts about were the Norwegians. A lot of them have come dressed up like Vikings with Viking helmets, and that was funny. And then I saw a video of the supporters at the stadium itself doing some sort of Viking row, and they were rowing. It was so cute. So as I said, I don't particularly like soccer, but I do like all of the things that are around the World Cup. I'm enjoying that. That's fun. And we will see more of that. And there've been some, I understand, some upsets. Not very many. And it's the stage of the competition with the houses, the group stages. In Hebrew, they're called houses. But it's the group stage in English. Anyway, so that was interesting. And what else? What else did I see this week? As you know from the title of my channel, yes, I read a lot. I'm an avid reader, and I also follow some people on Bookstagram. So it wasn't this week, it was last week, but I forgot to talk about it last week. But there's been some drama in the Bookstagram community. Let me tell you, there is always drama in the Bookstagram community. I am really happy that the coloring community is drama-free, but the Bookstagram community is full of drama. So the drama last week was that there was a Bookstagrammer who creates bookmarks and other merch and sells it on Etsy, and she tried to trademark. She tried to trademark the phrase "hot girls read." Oh, wow. This led to a complete uproar because this is a very common phrase. Lots of people sell merchandise with this phrase. And basically she sent people cease and desist letters, even though they had been selling their merchandise with this phrase way before her. And it caused a lot of, and people were calling her out, and she was doubling down, and she was trying to justify, and people were saying that she's harming small businesses, and she was saying, I'm also a small business, I'm only trying to protect. Complete load of hogwash it all was. So people, she's also, as someone who ostensibly says that she's a member of the book community, she should know that many bookstagrammers are lawyers. There are quite a few authors who are lawyers, and a few years ago there was a different scandal about a different author. That time it was an author who was trying to trademark the word cocky. Yes, and yes, it's called Cockygate. And of course, there were lots of authors who already used that word in their titles. And so basically, push comes to shove, these lawyers who are authors and bookstagrammers, they appealed to the trademark office to have her trademark revoked. And it was indeed revoked. So just like, the first time, I don't think that this person who did this has been in the reading community for very long, because if she had been in the reading community for any length of time, she would know all about Cockygate. Anyway, so that was the Bookstagram drama. The roommate, Karen, she also reads a lot. She's reading the Heated Rivalry series, and she's watching the show. So I haven't read that series yet. It's on my TBR. And I haven't seen the show. It's on my TBW, to be watched. But she was also telling me about other drama in the Bookstagram community, or was it the Heated Rivalry fan fiction community? There's drama there as well over, the fan fiction written about the characters. So she was telling me about that. So there is drama all over the place in lots of communities. I know there's also drama in the video game community. I play video games, and I'm in a group on Reddit, and sometimes they talk about the drama that's there. Drama everywhere. I try not to get involved in any drama. I pay attention to it. I notice when it's happening, but I do not get involved. I like to stay as relaxed as possible, and drama is not relaxing. Social media can be very problematic when it comes to drama. What else did I see? I also saw on Threads, so there was a post, I think it also was last week, about an Amazon delivery driver who stole someone's cat off their porch. But there was an update this week, because the Amazon delivery driver says that he didn't steal the cat. The cat actually belongs to him, and he has evidence. But the people who own the cat, or who say they own the cat, say they also have evidence that the cat belongs to them. And it turned out that this Amazon delivery driver once lived in the same neighborhood as the people with this cat. Anyway, now it's going to court. They are going to find out who is the actual owner of the cat. So that's interesting. I hope there are updates on that, because I want to know what the court says about who actually owns the cat. I'm wondering if this cat didn't run away from one of them and ended up being owned by both of them. This reminds me of the biblical story of Solomon and the baby, that there were two mothers. Both of them said the baby was theirs, and Solomon said he would cut the baby in half. Yikes. I don't think the court is going to say cut the cat in half. At least I hope not. Yes. Anyway. So there was the cat that is being disputed. What else did I see? On Threads. I'm trying to think. the cat that was being disputed. Oh, there is a lady. I haven't seen any updates from Camp Carter for a while. I don't think she has any new puppies. I think she's taking a break to recharge her batteries. But I did follow another account. She's a zookeeper. That's her job. And she makes funny posts about all of the animals in the zoo and the shenanigans that they get up to. And she says the meerkats are the worst. Okay, I'm just putting this here. So that's a fun. Oh, what's it called? If you're on Threads and you want to follow her, I will put the name of her threads on the screen. But she's fun. I tend to follow mainly animal accounts. I find them relaxing. What else did I see? There's another account that I really like. It's an account with a man. He adopted a shelter dog, and he travels all over the world with this dog. And he talks about, their experiences on airplanes and going through security. And he talks about the different airlines that allow animals in the flight cabin, in the cabin. The animal doesn't go in the hold. More and more airlines are allowing this. People don't want to put their animals in the hold because they have to be in a special hold that's pressurized and has oxygen, because the regular cargo hold on an airplane is depressurized and does not have any oxygen. So, or it's the opposite. It's depressurized and has oxygen, or it's pressurized and doesn't have oxygen. No, I think it's pressurized and has oxygen. Anyway, so I follow him, and there's some airlines where he can't take the dog. So then he travels by boat, ferry and boat. And he was showing the animals that are on the ferry can go potty on the ferry. And he showed us how it works. It was cool. Now we're doing the middle. Okay, I think we're going to do the middle, and I think that is going to be it for today, because I've been coloring and talking for a while. So let's just do this, and then that will be it. Yeah, so that was fun. That's a fun channel. Oh, what's the name of is it called Milo, the traveling dog? I don't know. Again, I don't remember the name of the actual channel. I will put it on the screen. Yeah, I love animal channels and animal videos. What else did I see? There was one, and people were saying that it was AI, only it wasn't AI. Oh, yes, it was 2 mice. Okay, so in this video, there was an apple. The mice had eaten the center of the apple and had climbed inside. And people were saying that this was not AI. This video is actually quite old. It's been circulating for a while, and it's actually real. So I was really excited about that. Okay, let me zoom out and we can see what we've got. It's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it so far. We will continue with our flowers next time. So as I said, we're going to do, here's processed red, so that will be processed red. Here is pomegranate, so here will be pomegranate, and we will get a cohesive look to the page. So next time we're going to continue working on the flowers, and if we have time, we will start on the foreground of the picture. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining me for today's Saturday Snippets. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my chatting, and I wish you all a wonderful weekend, and bye for now.